Okay, today we're talking about Lambda environment variables. So we've got environment variables that we can pass to our Lambda functions. That's nice because it allows us to have settings that are stored outside of our code and that we can make different between different versions of our environment. We can also encrypt those because obviously sometimes we might have sensitive variables that we don't want to be exposed and readable generally. So here we've got an example of environment variables set against a version of the Lambda function. And what we can do is we can have multiple versions and we can have different versions of those environment variables based on the version, which is useful in particular when we have a production, a test and a development version of the infrastructure. We might want to use a development version of the API that we're calling and a test version of the API and a production version of the API, and we can match those up, have the exact same code deployed for all three cases, but have a different version with different environment variables. Now, we spoke about the API key being something that it is sensitive and that we don't want people to see. How do we deal with that? Well, the answer is we use KMS for encryption and we put the encrypted value into the environment variable. So we can use the AWS-managed key or we can use a customer-managed KMS key, and we put that into the API key, and we can then either decrypt that within the code itself, or we can use a Lambda layer with an encryption helper to decrypt that for us and provide it just as a normal environment variable. So we don't actually have to write any code if we don't want to decrypt from KMS. Having said that, it's very easy to do so. You might want to just put that in your code base because it makes it easier to debug permissions issues and the like. Either way will still work fine. Until next time, here are some notes for you. Enjoy the cloud.